What's up, everybody? It's your favorite reviewer who feels like he only reviews Legends things any longer. Favorite nerd, and today we are looking at the Magic Square Red Cannon. This is on loan to me from Ace. He's got a show on YouTube called Figure Banging. It's part of the Realm of Collectors conglomerate and associated with the Cool Table, so I strongly advise you give them a look. And he sent me this along with a few other Legends pieces that we're going to be taking a look at soon, but probably not this week due to time constraints. But I'd like to at least do one review a week, you know what I mean? So this is him. Let's get started by taking a look at accessories. So he comes with a gun, and it has some paint on it, like black paint here, here, and here, which is nice and unexpected for a Legends class figure, and the sculpt is nice enough. And as you saw in the opening footage, he holds it just fine. And he comes with a shoulder cannon. It might not be a black, it might be a gray that's applied to both pieces. And the paint's a little touch and go here on this side, but all in all, I think it's more than enough. And maybe we were asking too much to expect any more. And it pegs into the shoulder using this piece right here, and then this piece does swivel, and you can articulate it on the shoulder as you saw. Now, as far as I can tell, there's not really a place for weapon storage properly, but you can clip this a little bit underneath the rear of the vehicle, and it'll stay in place. It's not super secure, but it's not gonna go anywhere if that interests you. And let's talk about the figure. So the head is on a swivel. On the head itself, you have some gray and blue paint for the face and eyes. The sculpt is a little wonky. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to get you up in there or not. It's a little wonky, but for a Legends class figure, I think it's easily forgivable, but it is a little bit of a weird face sculpt. We have a waist swivel, and we have an ab crunch all the way down to there. So that's nice. And then we have a little bit of silver details here for the headlights. And that's about it. For the shoulders, they're on ball pegs. You can get them out to 90 degrees and all the way around. Of course, you have a bicep swivel, a double hinged elbow that gets you a great range, a wrist swivel, and accent-wise, we have black paint here on the side of the arm. Same for this side. A little bit of silver paint right there on the crotch. And then we have T-joint and ball joints for hips that get you the full Van Damme and the full Monty. And you have a thigh swivel that's a separate piece, which you probably didn't even really need, but it's there, so that's nice. Single hinged knee that gets you 90 degrees. And then for the lower legs, we have a ton of accents. We actually have a few things to actually talk about. So there's silver paint here, there's black paint here, and then all along this. And what's nice about this, they have a glossy paint here for the window, at least it looks glossy, and then a flat matte for the other black paint, and it's glossy here for the windshield as well. So that adds a really nice look, and it differentiates it from the other black paint added. And then we have ankle rockers. They're not really proper ankle rockers. They just swivel down here, but it gives you the illusion and an ankle tilt down and a toe tilt down and up. So it's pretty much perfectly articulated, which is crazy. So there is one issue though. There is one sort of problem in Paradise. This part, which we're going to look at here shortly in the transformation that slides out, has a tendency to not stay stuck in. So as you're manipulating the figure and fiddling around with them, you will notice that these will start to come undone. They'll get out of your way, and then you just have to resort them. Not the biggest deal in the world, something that's easily overcome, but still something worth noting. And there he is from the back. Size comparison-wise, there he is with our two standards, the Hasbro Legends and the Iron Factory Legends. So scales perfectly. Let's get him transformed. So untab this crotch piece and flip that all the way around to the back. That's so you don't forget it. Speaking of the back, you can also rotate the waist swivel 180 degrees. Open up the front chest while sliding the hood of the car forward so that the head will sit inside of the white cavity and the hood will sit relatively close to the front of the windshield. This next step is probably the most tricky part of it. It's just a lot of moving pieces. It's not a big deal. But what you want to do is bring this tire around to the outside of the vehicle as opposed to the inside. And then you want to turn the bicep so that the two holes where the mushroom cap is visible, you can see. And then you want to turn the bicep 180 or 90 degrees so that it fits underneath the body of the vehicle. So the side looks like this and the underside looks like that. Tire to the outside, making sure that the two visible lines are going to be on the outside, double jointed elbow, and bend or rotate at the bicep so that it fits underneath. But the side of the vehicle has the two lines. Then you can connect the hood. Collapse the feet. Then you want to extend this. This is the piece that constantly wants to come undone anyway. bring this around. As you do so, you want to bring out this little flap in here and just do what you got to do to get that free. And when you bring this around, you're going to want to tuck this piece down inside the vehicle a little bit. So rotate at the ankle rocker so you can get it past this L here and then move it back into position, and you can keep this like this. So let's do it again. Extend this piece, bring it up, extend this flap, get that all the way around, and then you want to make sure that you get this into position, but you're going to have to tilt at the ankle rocker to get it underneath, and then once you have it underneath, you can slide it into position so that it lines up nicely. At the bottom of the knees, you'll see the spoiler pieces. You can go ahead and flip them 180. Then you want to collapse the shins into the thighs on both sides. Remember how we moved that crotch piece first? Well, it's managed to get its way back into position, so move that back out of the way. And then on the other side, you can collapse and connect the two lower shins. And then on this side, you just line everything up and into place so that it fills in the gaps and connects appropriately. I'll clean it up, we'll take a look at it. And we have car mode, and it's really cool. And I dig it. I dig it a lot. I like the transformation. Like it's pretty involved for a Legends class figure. It reminds me of some of the Transformers Prime Legends in the sense of just how many steps there are to kind of get to it. Rolls like a champ. We got painted wheels with a pin for an extra little accent, so that looks cool. All the black accents come through. The two different shades of black, the matte and the glossy, look good. We got these little front end silver details and such. I don't really have any complaints. I mean, even the exhaust piping is painted, so it really ends up doing the trick. It looks nice, and I like the process of getting it there. And then you have this for size. All right, let me get the negatives out of the way because there's not many. Those two side panels do have a hard time staying stuck into the legs, and there's some of the leg elements that are a little looser than you would prefer. Between the knees and the thighs and the ankles and all that, there's some elements in there that aren't quite as tight tolerance-wise as I think most would prefer. But the positives far outweigh the negatives. It's pretty much perfectly articulated top to bottom. Tons of paint for being a Legends class figure, to include two accessories that both have paint on them. The sculpt is pretty good. The face could have been a little better, but for the most part it's really good. The engineering is interesting, unique, and enjoyable, challenging, and yet rewarding. A really, really well done figure for the Legend scale. I'm really interested in what Magic Square has to offer. I'm looking at another one of their products here soon, but we'll cross that bridge when we get there. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Until next time, take care.